gamers, one channel, and plenty of games. This must be Games and Me. This is TWiGaME, episode 25 for May 13th, 2009. Dancing on 20 million graves. Hey guys, welcome to TWiGaME, episode 25. So, let's see who's going to be with us today. So, we got all Games and Me members here. Yay! So, let's start with CK, the designated co-pilot of this fabulous show. So, what's going on, dude?
Well, I finally tried out Phoenix Wright today, and wow.
Oh, finally!
Yeah, hot damn. Boy, was I missing out on that game.
I knew it!
Oh, man. Oh, so let me start with you. So the community question of the week this week, which Vanessa actually just recorded like a few minutes ago, is, do you do annual playthroughs? And if so, what games?
Annual playthroughs. I used to with Knights of the Old Republic, but busy schedule means I haven't done it in a couple years.
I see. So that's interesting. And we also have Aaron, aka Obviously. So what's going on, bro? So do you do annual playthroughs? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, actually, the Wing Commander series is probably my favorite series of all time. Every year I play through all the Wing Commander games from the first one to the last one, Wing Commander Prophecy. Just the main series games, like the ones with the actual story, not the spin-offs like Privateer and stuff. I also usually do the Mega Man games, the original series. I guess that's about it.
Okay. And of course, we have Vanessa. So, how about you? I don't know what you answered in a community question. So,
Well, I used to do it when I was little, you know, when you're in school and you come home and you don't do your homework, so all you have to do is play games. And I used to play through Sonic and Dynasty Warriors 3 and 4, but that was also because we only had like maybe 7 or 8 games total.
Okay. And as far as I go, I think I try to play two very specific games. One is Ninja Gaiden 2 for the NES, and the other game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I still think, even with the Castlevania games on the DS, is still like the best looking 2D game I've ever seen. So
Agreed.
all right, so now we've got all the introductions like out of the way, so let's begin. So, first article is by Chris. Oh, dear Lord. Chris articles. Well, the first one is Apple eyeing Electronic Arts takeover? David Tong over at The Street, so no, it's not some guy's blog, notes that over the past few days, there's been a bit of chatter from financial types surrounding Apple taking over Electronic Arts. Wait, what? That's nuts. Adami is the notorious fast money man, Guy Adami, whose reputation on predictions is sketchy at best. Though we have to note, this isn't a prediction. It's just quote-unquote chatter. So, Apple trying to be part of the industry? Thoughts?
That would be totally weird, especially since Electronic Arts is so big. They're trying to take over everybody else, and then Apple taking them over? I don't know.
Forgive me if I mispronounce your last name. Michael Pachter. Gamasutra did an interview with him, and he made an interesting point. It would only cost Apple $3 billion to buy Warner Music, which would make a lot of sense because that would expand their hold over the music industry and the recording industry. It would cost $6.9 billion to buy EA in an industry that they have very little reach in, so why would they do it?
I think that it's the gaming industry is a whole can of beans that Apple really doesn't need to get involved with. I mean, they've gotten hold on so many other things, like you were just saying with Warner there. Buying them out would make much more sense with Apple's with their demographics and everything. I don't think that buying out EA would really be a smart move.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want to consider like the target markets that Apple really hones in on, it's usually markets that don't have a clear leader. And people could make the argument that sure, BlackBerry, was the leader in the mobile market, but no one really owned the part where people made applications and stuff, and no one really took like mobile apps seriously, which is why Apple just kind of decided, hey, you know what, we're going to take over because you guys are slacking off. And you can make and of course you can make the argument that Apple is not the leader of the mobile market, but there you go. I mean, people are now catching up to and trying to copy Apple in that market. And considering that there are clear leaders in the video game industry right now, Apple's not going to jump into that. It's kind of like jumping into like Jaws with his mouth wide open, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to see Apple's other products, the good ones that they have right now, get dragged down because they're, putting more resources toward trying to make a good video game and, just getting mundane products out of that.
But to be devil's advocate here, it might also be good because the way, if you notice the way that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are kind of handling the application approval process, they're very rigid as to what they want to see on their console. If you look at the way that Apple has been treating the iPhone application system, they've been pretty lenient as far as like what applications that you want to sell on that particular device. So maybe like for those games like that could be like indie games or like kind of like Braid or those kind of underground hits that will probably never see the light of day on consoles. Maybe if Apple did the console route, maybe we'll see more of those. You know what I mean?
Do they really need to have EA for that? To do that, do they really need to have EA if they're going to go like that kind of indie route?
That's a good point. All right, moving along. Next topic is users report that Fallout 3 Broken Steel DLC is broken. It actually isn't just broken on the PC, it's also broken for the 360 because the achievements don't unlock. Oh my god. And of course it has been fixed allegedly, but God knows how many Xbox 360s it red ringed because it was trying to unlock like an achievement that wouldn't unlock.
Yeah, is any of this even news at this point anymore? It's like a given that when there's a new Fallout 3 DLC that there are going to be problems with it.
Well, we downloaded our version, like 2 days after it came out, and there was no problem at all. So it seems like they fixed it pretty quickly. I'm wondering how many people might have had a problem with it at first.
Well, by the time that you actually got your hands on it, like it actually patched the downloadable content right away. As soon as you turned on like Fallout 3, it said, "There's an update. You want to download it?" That probably helped, solve it and stuff. So
yeah. Well, how about if somebody wants to download Fallout 3 DLC, it's just like we make it standard practice. You wait 2 days before downloading it.
That's pretty bad. Oh, Jesus. Well, I think I think that's kind of like a safe bet to kind of do once you get DLC from Bethesda, I guess. So this should apply to anything past Fallout 3 as well. But you have anything to add to this, Aaron?
No, not really. I haven't played Fallout 3, so I've heard of all the really bad glitches and everything, but I haven't had any first-hand experience.
Well, so far I haven't experienced any glitches in the actual DLC other than that, so I'm liking it so far.
Okay, that works. Actually, by the way, that article was from Chris again. Of course he'll talk about like Fallout 3. In spirit, he's here after all. Next topic is obviously. So this article is Stalin versus Martians announced. And it says, many men may have died bringing you this information, so please do not take it for granted. No longer can the government conceal the conspiracies. Blackwing Foundation, Dreamlore, and Endgame have unearthed the truth. Martians are living among us. Okay, so maybe this news story is just an announcement for a new real-time strategy game, Stalin versus Martians. That's right, the game allows you to take control of communist General Joseph Stalin and his Red Army and pits you against the Martians from outer space. Consider this a new chapter in the history books.
Oh my gosh. I had to mute my mic while you were saying that so you wouldn't hear me laughing the whole way through.
If you think about it, is it really that much more ridiculous than the Red Alert series at this point? I guess maybe
Well,
just